is amazing against their cores. It's seen commonly throughout the majors so far against Timbersaw, just to be able to chop him down with the Fury Swipes and the Enrage. It's good against Jug, because you can just Enrage all the damage through Omni Slash. It can get kited, which is always a concern, but there's a Beastmaster, there's Ogre Stun, there's Cold Snap, and all sorts of other stuff. Upheaval even can be a nuisance, which you can't crack and chill, by the way, so even Tidehunter can die to that. I don't know, I'm still really favoring OG. I think the Timbersaw actually fixes a lot of IG's issues, though, because I was thinking about heroes, like, what are they going to pick that's going to help them kill something? But Timbersaw is definitely that hero.
Yeah, and it does look like, I was saying, like, potentially Timbersaw to the mid lane, but with Paparazzi picking up now, and then obviously with the Jug already on their team, they're going to try to go mid lane matchup. Outside of that, do you suspect that we are right and underway? I don't know if either team was going to want to try to change things up at all, if IG want to consider, heaven forbid, I don't think you can even go aggro on this or not. I think they're kind of stuck in that position where they're just going to have to go with what you see is what you get and just hope that the bounty hunter can, I don't know, get a courier snipe and somehow pinch and poke his way into a successful early game.
I mean, Q used to play with Garter, who was a hell of a bounty hunter player, so hopefully he picked up a thing or two. And if you, like you said, if the bounty hunter does have a good early game, then game salvaged. Like, that's really all it takes, because as soon as you get track going and you can find a couple of pickoffs here and there, then you're pretty much back in it. My real big concern is that their laning phase, I just feel, is not really that good. And this is a meta where you want your laning phase to be good every game. Like, having big lanes means you just get ran over.
30 seconds to battle.
I guess Juggernaut and Timbersaw on their own right are independently good laners, but their support combination, I feel, doesn't really offer much. So the way that IGV have drafted is they're looking for their supports to offer a little bit more later on when they both respectively have their ultimates, and then they pick like self-sustaining cores that don't really need a whole lot of outside influence from their team to be able to do well in lane. Like Juggernaut, Tide, and Timbersaw are all those heroes that can just sit there and be like, yeah, whatever, just hit me, I don't care. I'll spin away from a gank, I got Crack and Shell, and the other one has reactive armor, so in some ways, I think that there's potential here, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I think that they're gonna have a really hard time trying to contest 5-man unless the Tide has Ravage. That's really the only thing.
So working around that cooldown, and I would agree with you. These guys are, for the most part, some big bad bruisers who should be able to fend for their own when necessary, but we'll have to see how much OG are going to be looking to ramp up the aggression and prevent them from kind of playing their own game, and like maybe like last time, forcing out early awkward rotations and changing lanes up to kind of adjust accordingly. I mean, you have an Ogre on your team, so that's just kind of what he does. Jarek's already just kind of getting in the face of Paparazzi, or scoring a couple of denies, and just trying to fluster him as much as possible while burning. And remember, everybody, this isn't going to be a carry burning here. Burning Rubik now, as he goes back to what we saw in the first game, just working with the pool a bit. But nonetheless, we're expecting a little bit of a slow start. A lot of these guys need a bit of a build-up here, and I know No-Tail can Aftershock and get some jabs in July, but all for intimidation and asserting dominance, if you will.
Yeah, it's really tricky to kill the Tide. I mean, in July, he has to be out of position and or make a mistake. So he started with the boots. He recognizes that any amount of tank ability in this lane doesn't really matter because of Fury Swipes. So as long as he can get some levels, he'll be happy. I mean, if he gets an early point in the Gush, they could potentially kill Fly, but it's always going to be a trade. Like, somebody's going to die because No-Tail's going to kill one hero, and then the hero they go on will also drop. He does get
the rotation now. Burning actually shoots up to the top lane. They try to get some damage onto No-Tail. Burning won't get close enough for any sort of lift, but it looks like his assistance will be here. Just kind of, I guess, assisting in a head start for Paparazzi till he gets his level 2. But now this Timbersaw is going to, at least for now, be on his own. Obviously, Jarex is going to venture off as an Arcane Rune will be there waiting for him. Bounty gets the Bounty Rune, and now is taking his business towards the mid lane here and towards the Invoker. I do not see a sentry anywhere on the ground, so we'll see if they can start to set anything up. They get the hits in, the Blade Fury's coming out. He's in trouble, and he will go down. Sunstrike will be had for IGV. Already Q gets a nice early start, channeling his inner Garter, if you will.
Yeah, the one weakness of a 2-1-2 against the Bounty Hunter is that your mid player is always exposed. I thought that after the rotation came out from burning to top lane and they saw it, that Jerax might just kind of sit by mid. Because then if the Ogre is sitting by mid and is carrying dust, if for whatever reason the Bounty Hunter ever walks over there, he just pretty much dies. But I guess at the moment Jerax doesn't really have the money to buy dust because he's got the Orb of Venom and the early stick. So more than anything else, looks like they're going to prioritize no tail a little bit more, which means that he'll be able to get the items he needs to get an early Roche, which can obviously bring you back. And I'm sure Anna's not going to be too concerned over just dying once. As long as they don't give away a lot, then they should be alright.
I want to say Anna's pretty notorious for having a slower start on his Invoker. I'm not trying to say like he always has a bad start, but it's just, you know, we're not going to be seeing those early flashy, any sort of early game kills in the lane. And I don't know, it just seems like it takes him a bit before he can really come online. That could be just a victim of playing an Invoker at the end of the day, but that seems to be the trend for Ana. And if it was going along with the playstyle you were mentioning, where they're looking to build up no tail first, that would certainly make a lot of sense here. But they are going to be looking to pressure Ana as much as possible. The Q continues to show himself in the lane, being that pain in the ass. No response yet from OG about it. Jerax has now been floating around this top lane a bit, so back to the pull camp he goes. We're not just seeing too much of that aggressive early, like, enforcing Ogre this game, at least as of yet.
Yeah, it's weird because Jerax is a very talented player when he's on heroes that can actually score kills, but he seems a bit out of sorts as to what to do when he really can only just bully. Like, when he was playing Mirana, he'd secured a lot of kills with arrows, but this game he's playing Ogre, and he now is kind of hovering around mid for the time being. It looks like they are going to drop a sentry ward. So Ana's now going to have that little bit of protection from Q's rotations, but I suppose he just feels like his presence isn't really needed as long as there's a ward down, and he can just go back into finding a hero that he can just stand behind, which I guess is going to have to be Ana in this case.
The Q comes in. They see him now. Ana adjusts a bit, gets some shots in. Now they're coming in for the Blade Fury. In July suddenly rotates over and offers up a little bit of a nuke himself, and that secures the extra kill. No one suspects the rotating Tidehunter.
That was a really weird Sunstrike. I thought he would just cold snap because he had his invoke off cooldown, but he like Sunstriked very, very late. I don't know if that was a misclick or what, but I think they could have actually gotten a return kill on the bounty there if he was a little bit faster with that.
Not going to get rewarded with it. Speaking of rotates early, No Tail now suddenly to the bottom lane, looking to make some moves on the Paparazzi. This Sunstrike will connect, brings Paparazzi down to about half of his life, but the chase does continue. Another Timber Chain goes off.
Oh no, the
trying
creep.
to get slow, and those damn creeps block him in a bit, but he will be able to Timber Chain his way over and through them. So looks like Paparazzi should be good for now. Q has shown up, and that is going to be forcing OG off their back.
Yeah, so far it's been a really clean early game here from IGV. We talked about the emphasis on their early game and what the Bounty Hunter needs to do. And even in the times where he wasn't applying pressure, he was stacking the Ancients too. So Angelai's got a triple stack of Ancients to go back on even if his lane isn't good. Gonna see Paparazzi might be in trouble.
Let's see if they can get him this time. They're looking to block him on the front side, and he's going to be forced to go all the way out and around to the right. Meanwhile, Sakata picks up a kill onto Ana in the mid lane, but we'll keep action here as we see the demise as Paparazzi goes down. OG are able to get themselves on the board now. It's 3-1, but a Sakata solo pickoff. It looks like Omni Slash was used and got the job done.
Yeah. I was really struggling here mid. He's like 2 levels behind now. That's really, really bad. It's okay to die if the Bounty Hunter and the Tide are like TPing to kill you, but if you die 1v1, that's something that cannot be allowed to happen because Sakata's already had a really good start. They're gonna go for a dive here. S4 is not 6 yet.
No, he is not. There's the golden lift as they pull him up and towards the tower. He's quickly surrounded by 3 and really does not stand a chance. Bottom lane doesn't stop there. 2 have surrounded onto No Tail. He tries to get off a couple of swipes and now frantically looks to run away. Paparazzi though needs to line up the shot. Doesn't want to commit in for it, but oh god. Q will get it done. He's got a level 2 Shuriken toss that will get the finish. 5-1 now. IGV with a hell of a start already. Complete 180 from what we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, the rotations have been on point. Like you said, nobody expects the Gush Tidehunter at this early stage in the game. Like that rotation on mid that ended up killing Ana the second time, puts him so far behind that the Juggernaut hits 6 before he's ready. Then that gives Sakata the solo kill on him because he has Omni and Ana's not paying attention. Like, all these things are snowballing just because of these rotations coming in.
IG just really recognizing when they they hit that kind of mini power spike with getting that Omni early and getting those levels and just kind of totally taking advantage of it here. What do OG need to fall back on for their, if they were to have a power peak? Is it Fly's chaotic offering? He's level 4, almost level 5 now, but do they have to wait till that kind of a point? Or I guess S4 is level 6 now. Is it just a matter of putting the battle roar to work? Like, what can OG now do to kind of get momentum back to their side?
I mean, having the golem is obviously going to be great, but I think more than anything, they want to try to, like, contesting the ancient stack would be great, but I don't know if they can actually do it now, because like you mentioned, there's no offering. And I mean, stopping July from taking your own stack, that would also be good, because that boy's level 5, and he's taking like a quad stack right now on your large camp. But I think, honestly, they need to take the foot off the gas a bit, you know, try to get some levels up, and maybe play more reactionary Dota for now, because their movements around the map have just all been countered by IGV.
Bottom lane, Q and company looking to move on in. No level 6 yet for any track, but they get some hard hitting damage on the no-tail, and it looks like they're going to be going in for the finish. He pops the ulti to mitigate a lot of the damage, stays alive for now, but Sakata is happy to jump on back and get the finish on the fly instead. Strike, not going to be able to do a whole lot. No-tail gets zapped down with the Fade Bolt. S4 shows up, gets off the roar. That will get the kill onto Q, turns it into a 2-for-2 trade. And Paparazzi is now stuck under the tower quite a bit, hit with the Maid's Edict, and, well, also going to be hit with the stun. Tries to go for the Timber Chain TP, will not be able to make it out in time. Last second will tick down. Turns into a 3-for-2 trade, going the way of OG. It does cost him a core or so, but lots of commitments from both sides there.
That was still big. Like, getting those kills on the cores, especially, like, Sakata and Paparazzi both dying in that fight, that is so worth it for OG. They were really concerned for a little while because of how good of a start that Q was having. Like, his rotations were fantastic. Sure, he's not level 5 yet, or close to level 6, but he's been giving his team a tremendous amount of information. He's going for the deep wards. He's also going to find Ana out here. Like, everything, mostly, that IG has done during the early game has succeeded. So this is the first time they get punished a bit, maybe a little over-aggressive going for the tower dive like that. But I guess because Fly, they knew he wasn't 6, they thought maybe they could just pressure it. But that heal kept No-Tail alive for so long that they had to overcommit to get the kill.
Obviously, they did not have July as part of that fight. He was level 6 at the time without the point invested into his Ravage yet. Since then, though, he's now level 8. He has Ravage certainly ready to go. And I would imagine IGV overall are going to be ready to go to look to soon make some work out of it here. I was going to say potentially here in the mid lane, as there is a formation setting up, but it does look like for now July will just continue to take advantage of what is, in his eyes, a totally free lane up here at the top. So any chance he can kind of bull rush his way towards that next item, which appears to be the mech, he can get it that much faster. So not blink, straight to mech for him.
That item is going to be so useful, though, because due to the early game, they can actually do the 5-man with a mech and a Ravage. It's really hard for OG to actually fight into that without the use of, like, all 5 of their heroes, you know, get the Fatal Bonds off with the Chaotic Offering. That's going to be how they can actually deal enough damage to get kills that way. And No-Tail, that's not where you want to be, buddy.
Okay, he does pop the ulti off, forces July to commit his 2. And as No-Tail will be able to survive the Ravage, they quickly swarm around him and finish him off with another little snag of a Fade Bolt there by burning.
He could have actually TP'd there. I'm surprised he didn't go for that.
Yeah, he opted to kind of man up briefly and then maybe
seeing
if he could
actually
skittish out.
He sure can, like, instantly. And then the Ravage was also popped as well, so Jirax helping him out with the Roshan timer. Why did he say 1330 Roshan? I'm so confused. Roshan's not even dead.
1330. No, 1330 is when the next Ravage will be up.
Oh, Ravage. Why did I say Roshan? Okay, that makes more sense. What you said is correct.
Yeah. I know what you meant, though. But obviously, it's a mind game. IG are like, okay, well, they know now when our next Ravage is, but whatever, we'll take it. OG, though, now Smoke, they're flirting around seeing if maybe there's a ward nearby. They're actually just short. Oh no, that's their own ward, so no vision nearby by IG at all. So OG can just kind of comfortably move into this pit and begin to go to work, but if IG are privy to it at all, they could scout it here.
They definitely know, but I don't think they know that Fly's there. Yeah. I mean, without Ravage, it's kind of tricky.
Oh, Jerax rolls in, pops up Dust, and wants to get the Q anywhere but away. Oh, Sunstrike, big hit.
He's dead.
And the burn will get the finish. Nice stuff. Ignite level 4 by Jerix. I didn't notice his ogre build up here. It's a bit different than what you see from a lot of other ogres. 1-4-2.
That's the damage build right there. Ignite does insane DPS. It's 400 damage at level 4.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
But yeah, that's the Roshan secured there for OG. No contention whatsoever. Using the solo Ravage down there ended up actually being a really good thing, because when you Ravage like that for a solo kill, any good team is going to abuse that. Like, yeah, that is your team fight utility, just down the toilet to kill a core. And the funny part was, No-Tail actually could have lived there. But unfortunately for IGV, now they're up against a fully ultimate capable OG. Ravage is still down for at least another 10 seconds, and Mech is up, but in July, okay, he does have the TP, and Ravage is up in 5.
And TP is going to be coming on here as Burning shows up first on the scene. And now the Tidehunter to be here. OG begin their split, but look who creeps in from behind. And 4 gets off a nice ulti to quickly isolate and take out Burning. Now they rush on in, looking to go and sliding in the finish on In July. He's going to be forced to commit the Ravage. It connects onto 2, and No-Tail looking to retreat out. It is a 1-for-1 trade as of right now, and then On is going to be taken down next. This is track money now. Swinging the way of IG if they can get it. No-Tail swinging a miss on the undershock, and we'll have to kind of weasel his way out. But he's going to be surrounded once again. Catches his Aegis, and with Jerix as the only survivor, they will be there waiting for his second life, and it looks like they should be able to get it. IGV off to a very hot start, flipping the script from game number 1 as Sakata secures a double kill, and they pull ahead. Now 12-6.
Yeah, the shoe is on the other foot completely here. IGV are just outplaying OG in the fights themselves. It's really hard to like overcommit that hard when you're going behind a tower. Like, you want the tier 1, you want to make use of your Aegis, and that's fine, but Ana puts himself in a really bad spot by diving like that, ends up dying. Sunstrike comes out, not going to hit on Sakata. Looks like he'll just be able to TP out, but yeah, that wasn't even worth it, honestly, for OG. That was 4 track kills. 4 track kills is more gold than you get from the tower anyway, and now the experience is going more in the way of IGV than it was previously, and they're able to take their ancient stack during the downtime when the Ravage isn't up, and OG can't punish them. So this game is like, I doubted IGV's draft, I was a fool.
It's certainly working great now before OG can even come together as a team, and that's exactly what they needed to do. And here they are doing it. Track money beginning to roll in. You can see the benefits coming together in some of these items now. And as you can see, S4 will get knocked up with the track. His comfortable farming space is going to be feeling very thin now, as he is just desperate to kind of move on forward and try to finish out the good book. Back at mid lane, Jerix nearby, peeking things out. Sakata goes to the high ground, and they set up for him. Not going to be enough burst to get the finish before the Blade Fury does come out, and now they turn onto Jerix here. He tries to walk back and away. Burning helps him out by tossing him on forward. So just a little bit of a flirting game there, but no secured kill onto the Jug.
I mean, OG are in a rough spot, but they're also, I think, still playing it the correct way. They're always aggressively positioned. They're not allowing the bounty hunter to do like the pick and push strategy. Because what a lot of teams would do is they would sit back and they would try to farm and they would spread out. Bounty hunter loves that. Bounty hunter wants you to spread out and farm camp so he can go in there, track you, know exactly where everyone is, and be able to react. So I like the fact that OG is kind of playing this compact style where only one person is off on their own. Currently, that's S4, who I assume is saving for the blink now that he's got the book 1. But they're doing the right things. It's just difficult when you get this kind of a start. You know, the Bloodstone's now finished up on Paparazzi. Bounty Hunter's level 8. Like, things are getting going real fast, and OG needs some time.
We'll have to see how much time they're going to be able to get here, as Q continues to creep on in. Fly happens to pass right behind him, dropping a sentry, just missing where he was, but is spotted now. But really just kind of drawing board work right now for OG to kind of slowly get themselves in it, but it is a farm game that IG are winning. Diffusal Blade already put together here for Sakata. I thought I saw his Yasha also done. Yes, it is on hand, and
that's
should be handed off
Grease.
There. And, oh, Guardian Grease. Straight to Guardian Grease for the Tidehunter here, and they smoke. Here comes IGV, even stronger than before. Uh-oh. But OG at least seemed to be in at least a safe spot, not caught out by this smoke.
There's the blink actually on the beast map. How did he get that 600 gold so fast? That was actually super fast. He must have sold something. But yeah, they had the counterplay. The biggest issue that they're actually going to have is Tide at this point. He's so durable during fights. He has Guardian Greaves, he has Ravage. You can't really commit to him. So you need to have another way of like starting fights besides trying to focus in July.
Q is coming in as spotted S4, hits him with a crack, and now the roar comes out. They will be able to quickly burst and take out the bounty hunter here. IGB looking to avenge him. They rush on in. No commitments of any ultis, and now the chase seems to be halted a bit for now. Big connection with the Fatal Bond and with the Rock. OG thinking about making a move in, but there's a quick counterplay with the Greaves, with the Ravage. They shut down OG in their tracks and say, do not even think about it. Forcing them to kind of commit the Rock and get really nothing from it at all. IG double back and get right to the grindstone of this tier 2.
Man, that Ursa needs a BKB so badly. He just managed to finish up his Blink Dagger, but again, he's like the only hero who really goes in. So when he goes in, he gets ravaged every single time, and his teammates can't really do anything about it. Like, it's just the one thing that stops the fight pretty much completely. Timbersaw had enough damage to burst him down. He didn't have Enrage up after getting the initial kill on the Bounty Hunter, and then he just melts to the damage.
Yeah. IG will get rewarded that tier 2 tower. I actually didn't hear the dogs. At least I can't hear them over the game, but I think you're good. But nonetheless, S4 back bottom lane, casually pushing forward. I mean, while it's going down, you know, I said Ana always has a slow start. He hadn't been able to, you know, continue to grind up some farm with the benefit of that Midas he picked up. Finished now his boots of travel and even grabbed a point booster along the way too. So he's bulked up a little bit, but Drasko, I'd imagine Invoker still needs a lot more if he wants to feel a bit more relevant in this game. Stolen Rock gonna be dropped onto Jerix here, just to Jerix, and he just casually runs away from it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Golem is you kind of need another spell to follow up so the Chaotic Offering itself can deal damage, but I guess maybe their eyes are set on the tier 1, and still having the utility of that spell. I think he can use it one more time.
I was like, maybe he used it so he could use it twice, but I don't know, the timing's
that's
close.
The thing. It is very close, because I think a level 1 spell seal only lasts for 3. Oh, actually, there's no way you can use it again. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
He's just going to disappear.
So it's a bit short, but at least the Golem will help them siege quite a bit here in the bottom lane as they will secure 2-2. So since that micro engagement over here near the secret shop of OG, IG take that fight and that kill on No-Tail, take that mid tier 2, take the top tier 2, the bottom tier 1, and now they're working on the bottom tier 2. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of freaking money. And all right, yeah, exactly. Shoe on the other foot, OG. Let's see if they can be the team to kind of hold out in defense, or we may have our second straight day of full best of 3 action at this rate.
That's definitely been an interesting series, to say the least. It's like one stomp, one way. Perhaps this is going to be IG stomp, because it's only 20 minutes in, and they're looking at this tier 3, and it is dropping.
It really is. The Courier also being taken down there on IG side. Small win for OG, but that's tier 3. Okay, so tier 1, 2, and 3 in the bottom lane, and maybe even a Rax. OG trying their best here. Early Fatal Bonds is already out.
Alacrity? Okay, that's that Rax.
And now with Alacrity on the Cicada, he's able to kind of jump through it, and now the Rock will finally be committed. There's the counterplay as the Ravage will come out. They try to burst down No-Tail as much as possible, and they will get it. No-Tail's going to be out 45 seconds. It could be already in a situation where he might need to buy back. The chase is on for S4, and they'll get that one too. Both do have a buyback, but it may be just too late at this point. One Rax is already down this bottom lane, and Ana's also set to drop. 3 already going down. IG have lost nobody. We could just see the towel thrown in here and now, as IG will walk away with a full set of racks. They took the whole bottom lane in that push.
Well, they didn't even just take the whole bottom lane. They took also 3 heroes in conjunction with that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking back at the draft and I'm thinking to myself, first pick Rubik. A first pick Rubik team did this. That just means we have much more to learn about Dota Cattle Guy. That's all it means.
Yeah, this is such a wonderful patch, Dice Frog. Thank you so much. But nonetheless, back in mid lane, IG will need to get the GG call if they want to walk away with the W. And Paparazzi's certainly making a case for it. Quickly secures a double kill for himself, shredding apart the team. It looks like S4 may be able to get a forgiving kill. No, what am I kidding?
Oh my god.
They will miss their Sunstrike. Angel Eye won't get that grab. S4 will be able to pull out the roar, but Sakata continues to go to work. Triple kill now for Paparazzi. Ana also rushing on in. This is one of those moments where you can certainly feel like OG are thinking about game number 3, but not looking to tap out just yet.
I mean, this game is pretty much over, honestly.
Yeah.
They've given away way too much. I think the only reason they're still in the game is because they don't want to GG before 24-13, which is the GG time of game 1. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously
time
they
rating
might,
is a thing or not, but yeah,
they
that's
might
a valid
still
point.
actually have some idea of how to win the game. That's also plausible. It ain't looking great from our perspective because they just pretty much got wiped like 2 times inside of their base and lost an entire lane. That wasn't how you wanted things to roll out. But it's definitely a rough road.
Roche up now. Let's see if IG can find an opportunity to go in and get her done. As it's already spotted out from Paparazzi. They consider going to work. Obviously, some of the bigger ultis here not going to be available just yet on the side of OG. In particular, Fly's Chaotic Offering still needs about another 10 seconds. So it is up. They're pinging the Roche side now. Why don't you say one more college try in the Roche pit if you're OG, and if it goes to shit, you tap out. That could be a plausible option here.
I'd say that's a fair thing to do. I mean, there is an Aghanims on Ana, so maybe he gets some like crazy meteor deafening in the pit and kills everybody. I mean, that's the one thing about Exort and Invoker is even if you're behind, you still do a lot of damage. So if he can get that. I mean, there's also the rat play, which is what they're kind of going for right now. They have the boost of travel, they have the Beastmaster Aura and Alacrity, so they still push very, very fast. I just can't believe how much work IGV did in this early game. Like, they put on a clinic.
Ooh, oh my goodness, 10 life left on that tier 2. Paparazzi gladly just knocks it down with 1 punch. But the rest of his team already migrating towards this mid lane. Speaking of rat plays here, look at this one. OG looking right from behind. All employed by Ana as he distracts them, being taken down in the mid lane. But it looks like he may be able to get it. The buyback is going to be forced out as IG truck forward. They realize there's not too much on the defensive side. They'll see the markings now that Roche was done. Probably feel a little bit flustered, but nonetheless, they're here and on a mission. They forced out the buyback from Ana, and they're going to continue their push.
I think NoTail really wants to get BKB before this fight. If that happens and he's able to get the BKB, they could actually manage to kill a hero or two, just because of how much damage, like between him and Ana, they can put out together.
Yeah.
But their timing was just pushed so far back due to IGV's map control, the early game rotations from the bounty, the surprise gush Tidehunter. Like everything that they did had a very good reason for it.
Oh my! NoTail gets insta bursted. That Aegis goes faster than it typically get it, and now he pops out the ulti and doesn't really have to dodge a whole lot of trouble. But they reset, they double back, and IGV go right back to work onto this tier 3 right now. OG, if they have any say in the matter and want to try to close this out 2-0, this is their final hurrah, but it is looking like IG are going to be able to take this to the full 3-game stretch as they're beginning to crumble down. Their second set of attacks burning, leading in. It's telekinesis to pull back the rock. The bonds are going to be committed from OG. This is it for them. NoTail is going to be taken apart. S4 is next to fall here, and that should do it. IGB already walked away with a couple of kills, forcing out the buyback from NoTail. He's trying to blink in. He's trying to get the catch, but now insta-slowed, insta-diffused, and now just sadly walking forward and catching nothing. Like a lone little teddy bear. Not going to be able to get his cute little paws onto anything. Paparazzi the machine happy to shrug off all that damage. They need one more hit. Nishiba's good and will do it. Godlike right now for Paparazzi. Just giving a message right back to OG and what they offered in game number 1. IGB say we can dominate too.
Yeah, this is very impressive, especially after having lost a game like they did in game 1 and then coming back and being able to do this with, I would say, maybe not necessarily an unorthodox draft, but a draft that I feel had Another one of those high level of execution that was necessary to be able to succeed. And my god, did they execute. They just did everything right. I mean, even Burning managed to steal a couple of really useful spells. Like, you don't think about it, but stuff like Alacrity and Bloodlust, when you're pushing and you can put that on your core, it is so good.
Not looking to throw in the towel yet. Want to make IG work all the way for the win. And they're going to commit everything they can to see if they can get Paparazzi down. He's got a serious bounty on his head. 10-2, 24 Bloodstone charges. They'll finally get him down. He comes back in about 4 seconds. And good Boots of Travel in if he'd like. And there he is. He's about to show up behind the team after a back of a Ravage. And he came to play. On is going to be going down. I can get her done. Fly also. Oh, let me get back in my fountain. Not going to happen. But he'll buy back. No chaotic offering. This one is over, Draskel. That is no doubt at all. I mean, they even got to wait out No Tail and his full spawn timer and then kill him again.
The rough thing about this game is that they left Ana completely like by himself. The guy was like 1-7 at one point, which I guess now he's 7-7, so he's made like some kind of quote-unquote recovery, if you want to call it that. Or no, I guess he was like 1-6 or 1-5 or something. But it's really tough to play Invoker when you're playing against a hero that has good kill potential like Juggernaut because of spin, and you're getting camped by a bounty hunter. Like that lane needed to be helped in some way. It could not be allowed to just let Ana die over and over and over again, because what happens is you're putting all your eggs in this Ursa basket, and then there's a Timbersaw and a Tidehunter on the other team. Sure, you can kill the Timbersaw, but the Timbersaw can also kill you and Tide Ravage in every single fight. Like, you're gonna get hit. You're an Ursa. He doesn't have a reason to ravage anybody else because you're like the highest damage output on the team, because the Invoker is just dying all the time. It really worked out well for IGV. The Tidehunter pick, I think, ended up paying absolute
Let's
dividends
go.
for them.
This is it for IG. One more smoke, wrap around, roar, rock, upheaval combo. They will be able to get Burning down, but Paparazzi still gladly stands strong. The rest of OG go way outside the base here as they're able to grab Q. They do get also the Injulight Tidehunter here, but when the cores come to play, OG don't have an answer for them. These are the true gods of the game right now, and there is no answer for them. They suck at hitting buildings, though, let me tell you, except for Sakata, who's finally here and can put the real nail in the coffin now, but jumps in, Omni, bring him into the base, bring him into the fountain. They try to bring him in, but gets caught outside. Ice Wall, slowing them down a bit. What is this game? Will they get the finish? Yeah, they will. All right, Scott is down without a buyback. And they're also going for Paparazzi, too. Sunstrike gets connection as he Timber Chains forward.
Oh my god.
They fight him down. Oh! Ooh,
dang it.
Away. He makes it good. They get him down. OG hole.
I mean, their base is dying of creeps.
It is. They gotta clear it. But hey, that's how much of a gold swing? Yeah, you know, almost 5,000.
Decent.
Nice little money there, but I don't know. You need like another 2 or 3 of those, OG. 4 of those, 5, 6.
I mean, even if that does happen, like, their throne is exposed. That's the thing. If they had tier 4s are like the thing that lets you come back from being double racks, because you can not have to worry about your base like 24/7. You got a little bit of a buffer. But if your throne is exposed, they can just run into your base. Like, that's the part where that makes it really, really tricky. I mean, commendable from OG for sticking it out this long. I think a lot of teams probably would have just GG'd by now, but
yeah,
they're probably
IG's
talking
like,
it.
IG's sitting there definitely going, why have they not? Why don't they just tap out? Why don't they just tap out?
But that's also a strategy, right? Like, you tilt the other team by not GGing.
Yep.
And then they're annoyed.
I think it's exactly what OG are doing. I mean, that I would wager that is their intention. They're just like, okay, guys, let's just, you know, start. I don't know. I'm actually curious enough that maybe I'll DM Fly or something to be like, what's your issue, dude?
I'm almost 100% sure they're just talking about the game. I don't think there's a tilt the enemy team strat by not GGing. I mean, I don't know, maybe there is, but that would be some next level stuff.
OG though, at least maybe with that last takedown, feel like if we could get one mega clutch play, which could be here. Oh, they headed a bit early. but just below them to the south is IG.
Oh my
and
God.
L4S4. They just jump on in. The Omni Slash is there. It shreds apart their Beast Mastery. Has no buyback. Sheriff's also going to be going down. So already at a 3 versus 5 disadvantage. Let's just see if OG can somehow hold it. No pops to BKB, runs on in, looks to slash part Sakata, gets some good damage in, but there's going to be the force staff, which shoves him back and off and away. While there is going to be Fly on the other side, zaps Telekinesis on the no-tail, and that's it for him. Last survivor is Zana, who's going to get ravaged up, and they will surround the Magician and make him pay for all these dirty magic deeds. A 5-man wipe and a triple kill for Paparazzi will be the last thing we see, and it's going to be IGV. He will claim game number 2, and it looks like Thrastal for the second day straight. We're going to be going to a game 3.
Wouldn't have it any other